Hi everyone and welcome from the cabin. I just wanted to put a video together of my top tips for anybody going through chemotherapy. So there's 10 top tips. A lot of them are going to be from my own experience. They are quite personal to me. So some of them might not be as relevant to anybody else going through the same thing, but I hope that they help in some way. So my first tip would be, and I always have one on the go, water. So I've always got a glass of water by my side. Drink as much water as you can, basically, at all times. So I have about 2 to 3 litres of water a day. That will really help to keep your body hydrated, which is so important for several reasons. So your body uses water for pretty much every function in the body. So, digestion, for brain activity, heart, everything, just every single function. So if you've not got enough water and you're a bit dehydrated, then your body's going to struggle, and it's already having to put up with a lot. So it needs more because it can become dehydrated with all of the meds that you'll be on. So nurses advocate as much water drinking as well, so it's got all the kind of medical backing. Also avoid caffeine, so Coke, tea, coffee, that acts as a diuretic, so actually removes more water from your body and counterbalances really the water that you are drinking. So personally, I've just stuck to water. Also, when you go in for chemotherapy, take in some water with you. Sometimes, I don't know what it's like in different hospitals, it's going to be different, but certainly where I went, there is a little jug of water outside the chemo room that you can top up little cups with. But for me, I wanted to have water on tap next to me, and also I could keep tabs on how much I was drinking as well, so I'd take a 2-litre bottle of water in with me every time. The other thing that it does is it helps with cannulation. So when the nurses need to get the cannula in to your veins, then they're a lot more visible if they're hydrated. So again, that really helps in lots of different ways. It will help keep you mentally more sharp too. You should feel better for drinking more water. So can't advocate water enough really. So the second tip is nutrition. And this is just really, really important, again, to keep your body strong. So if your body's got all the nutrients that it needs, then it's going to be able to cope better with the chemotherapy. It's going to cope better with the stress that you're under. And it's going to help your body to repair and recover quicker as well. So eat lots of foods that are rich in B vitamins, so green leafy vegetables. Brown rice is good for B vits, porridge. I mean, I'm vegetarian, so I won't be able to give kind of any tips for meat eaters, but certainly I feel like I'm getting all the nutrition I need from fruit and veg and pulses and nuts and grains, etc. Vitamin C as well, really important. That can get depleted during the chemo. So the obvious ones are oranges and citrus fruits, but also you can get lots of vitamin C from broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, peppers, a really good source. Sprouts, not that I'm a fan. So there are lots of places where you can get the vitamin C. Basically, if you just try and vary your fruit and veg, you can't really go wrong. So good nutrition throughout is really, really vital. Tip number 3 would be walking. So I find that regular walking and movement is really important, just to keep things flowing, keep the blood flowing, but also just to get out in nature, get some fresh air. Often because of immune function implications with chemo, you do have to spend a lot of time kind of on your own or at home, and this can get quite isolating. So going out for a walk is a good option because you're out in the open, you're less likely to come into contact or close contact with people. And it just gives you that breath of fresh air literally that you need, and as I say, just keeps everything flowing and everything moving. So that brings me on to tip number 4, which is medication organisation. Right from the beginning, this is really important. For me, when I was given all my meds, it was when I just had my first chemo session. I got home, I felt really disorientated. I didn't realise there was medication that needed to go in the fridge. I didn't realise there was some I needed to take that night. I had been told, but it's just so much to take in, physically and mentally. So what I'd recommend is getting someone to help you, particularly for the first day, first couple of days. Organise what's in your medication pack, label everything up. So I put this chart together, and it's got scribbles all over it now, but I separated it out into the 3 different weeks for my cycle. Got my little angel at the top there that my brother gave me. So I would make a note of each of the meds that I need to take, when I need to take them, and the 21 days in the cycle as well, just so I can keep tabs on what I'm taking when. The other thing that I did as well was label up all of my med packs. So this is an example here. I put on the front the days, so that's day 1 to 21. And again, it's a bit scruffy, but on the back, I actually note down each of the medication days and cross off when I've had the tablets. So this is particularly important if you need to take your tablet twice a day. I'll do like a cross and obviously a happy face and a yay at the end, motivation. So just here's another example. So this one's day 5 to 13, and again on the back these are just 1 a day, and I've got them so I can tick it off day 1 to 13. So I just found that really helped me, and every morning I'll get a little plate and I'll put down the tablets that I need to take on that plate so that I don't get muddled up, and check and double check again, and then you can't really go wrong. So next, tip number 5, which is how to take your jabs. So I'm going to actually film that separately and show you how to go about taking the jabs. These jabs are to protect your immune system or help to boost your immune system by stimulating the bone marrow to produce more white blood cells. So these are the Nivistim jabs that I've been taking. So you need to take these out of the fridge about 15 to 30 minutes before you're going to use one. And this is what it looks like here. So all you need to do is pull off the top packaging and then just pull off this little plastic bit at the top, which protects the needle. It might leak a little bit, but don't worry about that. Okay, and now you need to find an area across your belly, so in line with your belly button ideally, and pinch the fat as much as you can. Okay, and then you hold the needle at 45-degree angle and you just insert, and just be confident, just go for it. It doesn't feel as bad as it looks. And then you just push the green handle until it clicks, and you can see that the needle's retracted, and that's it. That's all you need to do, and then you just pop that in your sharps bin, all done. So if I can do it, you can do it. So the first 5 tips are really quite practical, but these next 5 are all to do with your kind of psychological support and the mind-body link, which is just so important with all of these kinds of experiences. So my next tip, number 6, would be to cry. Allow yourself to have a good sob when you need to, and it's very cathartic. It's actually shown to be good for the body in physically releasing chemicals that you no longer need, and then releasing endorphins afterwards as well. And I think that it's very important to allow yourself to feel the experience. Don't block yourself from it. Cry on your own if you need to, cry with a friend, cry with a dog, whatever it is that you need to kind of release. And I've cried a lot, and sometimes at very random times, but just go with it because it's your body's way of releasing. So my next tip would be number 7, the mind-body connection. So there's so much around this topic to really cover in one little tip. But what I will say is that understanding the effect that your mind has on your body, quietening the mind with things like meditation, vitally important. Trusting your body to do its job is something that the mind can really meddle with, especially when you're going through chemotherapy, because it can be a time of anxiety, of uncertainty. But practicing self-help, so to speak, can be so beneficial. Also, you can use the mind as a tool. Use your imagination for visualization, visualizing how you want to feel when you're better, visualizing calm upon the body. So you're kind of using your mind really as a tool, and the more you can study this connection, the better. There's a couple of books I'm going to mention here. I'm going to talk a lot more about mind body in my other videos, but a couple of the books that I'd really recommend would be Louise Hay. So she's passed away now, but she's actually got her own publishing house, Hay House. And she's like the queen really of self-help. So I investigated these books like in the 90s, back when I had ME, found them very helpful. So she talks a lot about positivity, affirmations, which I'm going to be doing a video on, and I use all of these techniques as much as I can. Also, another book that I read recently is Dr. Joe Dispenza, You Are the Placebo. This is a fascinating book, and I feel like it really draws together a lot of ancient wisdom, and a lot of the mind-body research that's being done, and it's kind of a very exciting book. It will really help you to kind of understand your mind-body link and psychological processes. Tip number 8 kind of follows on. I did mention meditation before. I found it's been really helpful to draw on the strength and support of other people. So hopefully by now you'll have friends and family, whether it's personally who you've spoken to, or whether it's on social media. Instagram and Facebook are good ways to express what you're going through, for example. All the messages that you receive, all the text messages, the phone calls, the cards, keep them close to your heart, because they will keep you strong. And meditate on them. If you're feeling really low, then think about those people who are thinking of you, because they genuinely are. When they say they're thinking of you, praying for you, sending you love, actually take that for what it's worth, and just sit and kind of imagine yourself with the beautiful pink light around you. Imagine that love and that positivity coming towards you, because it is real and it is there. So utilize that and feel it, and give gratitude out for it as well, which will make you feel really good. Tip number 9 would be mindfulness, and a mindfulness tablet taking specifically. So mindfulness is a very effective way to reduce anxiety, help you to stay feeling calm and stable. It can be applied to so many different things in life. And I wanted to use the tablet taking as an example, because that's one thing that I've used through this whole process. So in the morning, when I take my tabs, I tend to take them in the morning because steroids can keep you awake at night. So I take them as early as I can, first thing. And I line all of the tabs up. And before I take them, I kind of group them. So I say, well, these are my antibiotics, antiviral, antibacterial, etc. And I take those and I say, these are to protect my body. And then I take them, and as I take them, I say I utilize these tablets to the best of my body's advantage and let go of that which I do not need. And then I do the same with steroids, but this time I say these tablets will help me to stay strong, reduce inflammation, and help me to heal. And again, I repeat, I utilize them to the best of my body's advantage and let go of that which I do not need. Now, I've just made up that little saying for myself, mainly because I'm not a big tablet taker normally. So this is kind of a big thing for me, having all the chemotherapy and the medication as it is for anybody. But psychologically, it's a way of my quietening my mind and putting it on track to say, look, these tablets are here to help me, rather than saying, oh, I've got all these tablets to take, or what effect are they having on my body, and thinking about the side effects and the negatives. What I try and do is kind of give thanks for the tablets, focus on what they will do for me, and then take them with gratitude and with a mindful attitude. And I think that really helps. And again, it helps the mind to direct the body and to just calm everything. Last but not least, tip number 10 self-empowerment. So really trust your decisions. Although there is always a conventional medicine plan out there, when it comes to chemotherapy, and you can get caught up in kind of just being told this is what's going to happen, make sure that you are very much the agent of that process. Make sure that you take ownership of what is happening to you and the decisions that you're making, and trust those decisions. Once you've made them, put all your belief and trust and faith into what's going to happen, and believe that it is going to make you better, it's going to help you recover. Put trust and faith in those that are looking after you. The doctors and nurses are absolutely phenomenal, and empower yourself to really feel your way through the experience. As I mentioned before, don't block it. Go with it, embrace your healing path, because it is time for transformation, and you'll find that you can't go through this process without change. So just go with the flow, so to speak, go with that change. You will pass through times of real darkness, but you need to go through those times to get through to the light, without sounding too cliche. So you just need to kind of let go sometimes and allow yourself through. And you'll find that empowering, and that empowerment will fuel you, and it will help you to get better. So thank you for listening. I hope these tips have been helpful to either yourself if you're going through chemotherapy, or maybe somebody close to you. There's lots more tips that I could include, but I have to stop it somewhere. There will be other videos that I'm going to do on well-being, holistic tips, the mind-body link, etc, etc. So please do subscribe if you're interested. Feel free to leave any comments below, and take care. I wish you well with all of your treatment.